Criminals often use many violent and dangerous methods to try and escape police custody. But what happens when suspects try to seduce and flirt with cops to avoid a jail sentence?
I'm good, bro. Check me. I don't care. I like men. Come on, just search me.
Here are 7 examples of when suspects try to seduce cops, starting with arguably the most shocking. A 19-year-old girl was seen weaving between lanes and throwing unknown items out of the window. Officers immediately thought this was suspicious and pulled her over for a chat.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi, sorry. What's up?
You said you were coming from Dancers?
The driver states that she's a stripper at a bar called Dancers, and that she was texting her boyfriend who was home with her kids. However, the officers noticed something off about the driver. Her speech was slightly slurred and her eyes were glazed over. There's a good chance this girl's been drinking.
What time did you get off with Dancers?
11.
11?
It's an hour and a half away.
You got off at 11? It's 10:23 right now.
Really? Oh.
Did you have anything to drink?
No, I'm 19.
You're 19?
I cannot drink at the strip club, nothing.
Nothing?
No.
Are you sure?
Don't get on my eyelashes, bro.
The light will hurt your eyelashes?
No, but they falling off.
From the light?
Despite the girl's claims, the officers are fairly sure she's had at least something to drink last night, especially when she seems to forget the time completely. So they ask her to step out of the vehicle and perform a few sobriety tests.
Well, hold on. We're gonna start.
I'm cold.
We're gonna start right here. All right. Do you wear any glasses or contacts?
I do.
You do? Are you wearing contacts right now?
No.
No?
I'm
Okay.
cold.
You're gonna.
Let's just walk in a straight line and I'll be good.
Well, that's not even. I haven't even told you the exercise that I'm doing yet. So you gotta.
I'm cold.
Okay. I mean, just give me 10 minutes of your time.
Okay.
Okay.
We're fine. If we're in a straight line, what do you want to do? Cop from?
Hold on. I didn't tell you that's what we're gonna do yet.
I know, but I know how the police is.
Despite her enthusiasm to begin the tests, she doesn't exactly pass them with flying colors. And after losing her balance on the final test, she's placed under arrest by the officers. But that's not where the story ends for her. On the way back to the patrol vehicle, she mentions that there are in fact weapons in her car, and her behavior starts to change drastically.
Y'all can check me. I don't care if y'all are male, bro.
We got plenty of female officers around to do that.
I'm good, bro. Check me. I don't care. I'm giving authorization to you.
I'm not gonna search you.
Why not? I gave you authorization too.
Oh, I'm not gonna do that.
Well, I like men. Come on, just search me.
While the cops maintained that they couldn't search her, they did take the time to search her vehicle. Inside, they found multiple guns, a large stack of cash, though it was decided this was likely just tips from the bar. However, she was still charged with DUI and sentenced to 9 months probation, despite also being underage. It was fairly difficult for the cops to judge if this girl was drunk or not. However, this next girl didn't show the same amount of class, instead resorting to manipulate and trick the cop into letting her go.
Hello, how you doing? Walter, how to New Mexico State Police. Using for the stop. You're going 55 back there on MLK.
55?
Yeah, 55. I was right behind you the whole time, and you just
Honestly,
booked it.
I had a bad night. The girls that I thought that were my friends are not my friends.
I'm sorry to hear that. Where are you coming from?
Knockout.
Knockouts?
This girl doesn't seem to be having the best night, but that still doesn't explain why she was driving 25 miles an hour over the speed limit on a residential road. She also mentions that she came from a place called Knockouts, a gentleman's club, that could explain the sparkly outfit and why she was driving so erratically.
Okay. You have your license?
Like, you're gonna tell me you're my friend and then do some bullshit.
Yeah.
Here's my registration. I have
Do you have a jacket or something that you could put on?
what?
Do you have a jacket or anything?
A jacket?
Yeah, like in the car?
No, why?
Because I'm gonna ask you to step out, that way we can talk out here.
I don't have anything.
The girl seems to be upset about a disagreement with her friends back at the bar, but this officer isn't buying it. There's many examples of suspects pretending to be sad or distressed during a traffic stop to try and get sympathy from the cops and walk away with a lighter sentence. This can work in some circumstances, but it doesn't excuse driving at almost twice the speed limit. But this doesn't stop the girl from trying after she steps out of the car.
Okay.
Here's my registration and I can give you my progressive. It just sucks. Like,
Yeah.
a bitch
Here, let me.
tells me that she's my friend and she's not.
Okay. All right. Let's just go back over here.
I'm moving next weekend, and my friend said that she's my friend, but she's not.
Yeah. Could you stand up straight?
Yeah.
All right. So how much alcohol you consumed?
No, I haven't.
Nothing.
I smoke weed. I have my medical card if you want to see it. I have that. But I've been smoking because I'm mad.
Yeah, you're mad.
You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
all the friends.
Here, just try to calm down a little bit. So you say that you haven't consumed no alcohol. Just be honest with me. How much alcohol?
Work at knockouts. Honestly, the way I feel is because the girl, she went
that are available for that.
behind my back and shit. You know what I mean?
No matter how hard the cop tries to keep the girl on topic, she keeps breaking down and talking about her friendship issues. After some more pressing by the officer, she admits to smoking marijuana and alcohol back at the club. But she keeps trying to excuse it by saying she's having a rough night, and that's her way of dealing with it. Unfortunately for her, though, the officer needs her to focus, which she seems to be having a tough time doing throughout the sobriety tests.
All right. Just wait right here. I'm gonna move my unit back just a little bit, and I got 2 more tests to administer. You feel okay walking in those shoes?
I mean, I'm just fucking upset. That's it.
You're just upset.
I'm just fucking upset.
So, Miss Ramos, my main concern is just that you're safe to drive, okay? Obviously, you were
No, I truly get it.
traveling at a high rate of speed up.
I have
and
3 kids.
Okay.
My baby daddy just died.
I'm sorry to hear
My
that.
best friend just said that it's just a lot. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Unfortunately for the girl, though, complaining to the officer didn't seem to sober her up at all, and she failed all 3 of her sobriety tests. So all that was left was for her to be arrested, a fitting end for what appeared to be a pretty rough night for her.
All right. So at this point, you're going to be placed under arrest for DWI, driving while influenced with intoxicating liquor and/or drugs. Just face me real quick. What's in your mouth?
Nothing.
Open it. Lift up your tongue. All right. So on my watch, 0213, okay?
But Kelly Barton made it a little easier for the cops. Not only was she seen crashing into a lamppost while transporting a special needs patient, but when police arrived, she was looking a little worse for wear.
Kelly? Yes? How are you doing? Good.
Kelly admits that she had too much to drink that evening, but doesn't admit to driving, despite it being her job. Unfortunately for her, though, security camera footage from the gas station proves that she was in fact behind the wheel, and is now facing charges of both DUI and neglect due to the responsibility she carried while driving with the patient. But as an ambulance pulls up to perform some tests on her, Kelly reveals that she has another trick up her sleeve, and begins repeatedly flirting with all of the officers at the scene.
Look at you handsome. Do you want the light squad to check you, ma'am? Let them do what they gotta do. Come on, boys. Hey. I want the little young boys. Ask me how I'm feeling. Let the little young boys tell me. Let me tell you something. What I would do to you with your blue eyes. So let me check your blood sugar real quick. Look at him. I would do him in a way that he won't admit. Hey, look. He can look tough all he wants, right? Don't let me get him.
After multiple tests, it's clear to the officers that Kelly was way over the legal limits and is arrested for driving while intoxicated. And after struggling to get her into the police vehicle, she's sent on her way to the police station. But if you think Kelly was bold for talking to cops like that, 18-year-old Skylar Fluss is on a completely different level, going so far as to post this video to thousands of people bragging about how she got away with a DUI.
I got out of a DUI and got let off with a warning.
Skylar was pulled over after an officer saw her weaving around the road in a way that suggested she might not have been completely sober. But according to her video, she claims that using her flirtatious and quick wit, she managed to trick the officer and get away with a warning.
I blew a 3.8 and he let me off with a f***ing warning and gave me his number and said we should meet for coffee or lunch. He was hot, so I'm getting lunch with him tomorrow.
If her story is true, then the officer would be in serious trouble. But luckily, the officer in question recorded the entire interaction on his body cam, and the video tells a completely different story.
Hello, my name's Deputy Stallman, the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. I pulled you over because you were weaving a little bit back there. Where are you coming from?
I was coming from my friend's house. I actually just got dumped.
Okay.
So I was like crying and like I'm really upset.
Okay. Were you on your phone and stuff too?
I was trying to call him to get a hold of him because my heart hurts
Okay.
so bad.
Well, I'm just concerned that you were weaving because of alcohol, but if you're on your phone, have you been drinking or anything tonight? No? Okay.
The deputy then does give Skylar a card with the sheriff department's information on it, but it didn't include his personal number and it didn't come with an invitation to dinner.
Sounds like you're having a rough night, so I'm not going to add to that by writing you a ticket or anything, okay? So I'm just going to give you a warning. It's not a big deal. I just want to make sure you're okay. You were weaving a little bit, and I just want to make sure you're okay to operate the motor vehicle, and I believe you are. So my information's right here on the front. The reason I stopped you here is on the back. Wherever you're headed, get there safely, and I'm sorry you're having a bad night.
Yeah, I'm just right down the street. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
No, you're fine. Yeah, no, you don't need to apologize. I mean, you were weaving a little bit with no traffic out. I just want to make sure you're okay, that's all.
Skylar's video doesn't just contain disgusting footage of her laughing and bragging about exploiting this officer's kindness, but also states that she blew a 3.8 on the breathalyzer, ignoring that she wasn't even tested in the first place. The legal limit is only around 0.8 and already makes driving dangerous, but a reading of 3.8 would imply Skylar was not only blackout drunk, but close to death, as at a level of 4.0, respiratory failure is likely. But this doesn't mean Skylar was lying about being drunk underage. Videos were later discovered of her chugging tequila from the bottle and acting drunk at a party just hours before she was caught driving. After she was confronted with this, Skylar confessed and admitted to everything.
I ended up getting a little too intoxicated. I was taking shots all night and I decided to make the dumb decision to get into my car and drive.
She also admitted that the officer never asked her out. That was just a lie for social media attention. Regardless of her confession though, no further action was taken against her or the officer who failed to test her. But the same can't be said for Lydia Badillo. She was caught trying to transport 2 illegal immigrants over the Mexican border, and as soon as everything started to fall apart, she decided to try seducing the officer.
Just wait for me right here, okay? You don't have anything?
I'm looking at your eyes. Sorry, sir.
What?
I'm looking at your eyes.
Why?
Because you look pretty handsome.
As soon as the officer realizes something might be up with the IDs, Lydia starts to smile and stare directly at his eyes before telling him how handsome he is. Obviously, this is just a trick to try and get out of the position she's put herself in. A trick that isn't going to work on this officer.
Estos documentos por un tiempo? Por un año. Ok. Pues son falsos, ok. Y tener documentos en estados de Texas es un delito. Las ID, a esta te sale a un señor, a tuya. A esta no me sale nada. Ok, so estas identificaciones son falsas. Okay.
After running the woman's driver's licenses through the national database, the officer discovers that the ID numbers return completely wrong results, meaning that both of them are totally fake. It's later discovered that the 2 women with Lydia in the car are both illegal immigrants from El Salvador. What's worse is that they were being transported through a service that often forces women into debt bondage, where the people who transported them will make them pay off their debt through forced labor and sex work. So, while Lydia was arrested and the 2 women sent back over the border, they may have been saved from years of horrible treatment and abuse. One thing's for sure though, Lydia's attempt at flirting didn't work one bit. Unlike Brooke Teague's attempt, which actually worked out well. So well, it's rumored that her and the cop are still together to this day. Brooke was pulled over after an officer witnessed her swerving around the road slightly, a telltale sign that the driver was either intoxicated or in need of help. So he swiftly pulled her over, only to be greeted in a surprising way.
Hey, I'm Officer Smith, Glenville Police Department.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Smith.
I've never heard that before in traffic stop. I appreciate that. Hey, so I'm just stopping you for improper lane use.
Sorry, I was on the phone.
You're on the phone?
I'll be honest.
Okay. Who are you on the phone with?
My baby daddy. I'll show it to you too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Zachary?
Yeah.
How much do you have to drink tonight?
Only one drink.
Just one drink?
Yep. Yes,
Final
sir.
answer?
Miller.
A Miller Lite?
Yes. I won't lie to you, a Miller Lite.
That's all you've had?
Yes, sir. You can ask Zachary.
I don't really want to talk to Zachary.
I know you don't, but I'm just saying.
Okay.
In just this first minute of conversation, 2 things become clear immediately. Brooke has definitely had more than 1 beer to drink, and how well she and the officer seem to be getting along already. Both points that will get increasingly more obvious as the footage continues.
Yeah, I can smell it from across the car.
She's like, I had 1 Miller Lite. There's no, I wanted to say, like, a Miller did that to you?
Big Miller, 128 ounce Miller.
Freaking bucket of Miller. All right, where are we at on it? Awesome. Brooke,
Yes.
Teague. Am I saying that right? Teague?
Yes. Like baseball league.
Teague like baseball league.
Yep. It helps people spell it because they never spell it correctly.
Brooke then gets taken out for some sobriety tests, which take much longer than anticipated.
You're making me giggle. I'm sorry.
He makes me giggle too. It's okay.
Okay. I snore. I'm from
Sorry.
Huntsville.
We're supposed to be professional.
I'm from
here.
Huntsville. Isn't going to make me snort.
All right, stop laughing because you're making me laugh.
I'm not.
All right? Seriously.
I'm giggling. I'm
All right,
sorry.
this is a serious deal. All right. Okay.
You're smiling. I can't help it.
All right. Stop.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Unfortunately, despite all the jokes, Brooke failed all the sobriety tests and was put under arrest.
How much you've actually had a drink?
I've had 2 Millers.
2 Millers now? That's it?
Yes, sir. You can call Mitchell, the manager.
Okay. Well, hey, go ahead and put your hands on your back for me, okay?
Yeah.
After a search of her car, which turned up nothing but a loose car seat, she was driven back to the police station where the sparks continued to fly.
I'm with you. Let's go over here.
Oh my God, is there a dog?
There is a dog.
Where?
He's over there. Over here. His name is Kolyak.
Kolyak?
That's my dog.
Is that your dog? What's his name?
His name is Coach.
Coach? I have 3 dogs. I have a Rottweiler, Great Dane, and a Mastiff.
Wow.
Did I go to high school with you?
I don't think so. Where'd you go to high school at?
Bentonville?
Yeah, not me.
Where'd you go?
Indiana. Valparaiso, Indiana.
Where in Indiana?
Valparaiso.
I was raised from Bloomfield.
Really?
Yeah.
Note that despite the obvious chemistry, both Brooke and the officer have remained professional and are continuing to move on with the investigation. The officer had Brooke take a blood alcohol test where she blew 0.14%, almost twice the legal limit. A DUI probably wouldn't net her that bad of a sentence though. At least not compared to that of Amelia Bassoon, who tried everything she could to seduce the detectives and get away with murder. Amelia was arrested in connection with the murders of Cindy and Sean Stack. They think she helped her husband cover up the crime, but she will do everything she can to get away with it, including flirting with the detectives. But while this case started in a playful manner, it quickly evolved into one of the most intense interrogations of all time.
They're dead. They're both dead.
I didn't do anything.
The detective starts by reading Amelia her rights and getting some basic information.
Am I like getting arrested or something for something? Or
We're gonna explain it to you. Yeah, we'll explain it all to you, okay?
just normally when this starts is like someone getting in trouble or arrested or something.
Well, we just, like I said, we want to be able to talk to you.
Already, it's obvious that Amelia is making her voice high-pitched and speaking in a timid tone of voice. While this could just be what she sounds like normally, other footage of her suggests otherwise.
I don't want to press charges, but I would like a no contact order. I can do that. Okay.
Her change in tone could also be a reaction to being in a stressful and uncomfortable situation. But as the interrogation continues, she begins to show more and more of these flirtatious signs.
What happened with Josh? Did you say that? Did I hear you say he shot himself in the leg?
Yeah, so in December we went bowling.
Okay.
The bullet went around the bone and around the artery. Wow. Through and through.
Jeez. That's lucky.
I know, he's crazy.
How long you guys been married?
It'll be a year in September.
Oh, okay.
Here, Amelia gathers her hair and moves it all to the right-hand side, exposing her neck on the left. The neck carries the jugular, an important and vulnerable part of the body that many people will make an effort to protect. However, when someone feels comfortable or safe around someone, they're likely to expose their neck by tilting their head or moving their hair to the side, suggesting attraction or at least the desire to show it.
All right. So, Amelia, I can tell you the reason why we're here today is because of that issue with the bank. Okay. All right. Does that surprise you?
For this type of situation, yeah.
Okay.
Like this intense. I mean, I got in trouble at work, which makes sense, but I'm just confused a little bit.
Well, let's walk through it a little bit, okay? Let's walk through that and see how maybe we came here today, all right, and find out if this was just a misunderstanding or what, okay?
The story ended with Cindy and Sean dead, but started with an equally disgusting crime. Amelia was an employee at Chase Bank and exploited her position to steal $50,000 from a dementia-ridden man. She wrote 2 checks from his account, and her husband Josh deposited them in his accounts. When Cindy and Sean started asking questions, Josh purchased a gun and shot the pair in their own apartment. This interrogation is not only to uncover the details behind the theft, but also to determine what part she played in the killings.
So what happened with this write-up? So, I mean, had you been a banker for him for a while? I mean...
Yeah, so I've been his banker since I moved here.
So what happened with these checks?
Nothing. He called him. I have the record over global security. So when they came in, they pulled like call logs, they pulled like cameras, just to make sure like they pulled signature files. Because I mean, it's still federal, it's the bank. So they wanted to make sure that I wasn't like, I guess, stealing.
When you talked to Gerald, I mean, how did he appear to you? Is he a young guy, old guy?
He's old.
Oh, how did he appear to you when you talked to him?
He's okay.
He was okay? Did you ever have any issues when you talked to him about remembering things or anything like that?
Like, I know like a little about himself. Like, he had brain surgery. But for the most part, he remembers things. I don't think he forgets, really. Other than that, he's still nice.
Okay. Yeah, nice guy.
Amelia does her best to seem open and honest here, but as soon as she finishes up talking, she brings her shoulders up, hunches over slightly, and crosses her arms. All movements that are done to protect vital parts of the body and are obvious tells that someone feels uncomfortable. These signs only become more apparent as the interview continues.
What did he have you do? Like, what did he ask for?
Nothing. It's just we put 2 checks and $25,000 each, and that was it. The grandson came, picked him up. And...
The grandson came and picked him up?
It was either the day before or the day after. I opened up an account for him.
Oh, so he must have just deposited those checks into the account?
I'm guessing.
I think your best bet right now is to be completely honest with us, okay? So let's go on a little bit more, okay? The truth is going to be the best thing right now, okay? This happened in May?
My write-up for work in May.
Is the account still open?
The father?
No?
Amelia's speech has become much shorter and unclear, and she continues to seem more and more uncomfortable when pressured about Gerald's banking records. Of course, the detective has noticed this and is seeing straight through her original timid and playful demeanor, so he decides to ramp up the pressure.
Amelia, listen, okay? At a certain point in time, we have to move past it, all right? He's a nice guy, and I'm sure you really do care about him.
I do.
Do you see now?
But it's not like I don't want to make it... Okay.
No. Did you take advantage of that old man?
I don't want to say I took advantage of him, because he's a really nice guy.
Yeah? And, Josh? Did he ever talk to them?
No. He never spoke to them. He doesn't even know who they are.
Would he have been at their house?
Him? He doesn't even know where they live. I don't even know where they live.
Well, you have access to his account.
Yeah, but I haven't...
You opened it.
Yeah, but I don't remember his address.
You talked to Cindy? Possible she gave you their address? Is it going to be in the text messages?
No.
But you don't remember if she gave you the address or not?
She never did. She had no reason to.
It's possible Josh went over there and you didn't know?
I mean, how would he know where they live, though?
That's not the question I was asking. Is it possible that he went over there?
Not that I know, no.
So you can't say for sure he did or didn't?
I can say no.
How can you say no?
Because he doesn't know he doesn't know them.
Amelia now decides to change strategies. Instead of her original flirtatious and playful demeanor, she's switched to an innocent and clueless one. At points, she even smiles and laughs while being asked serious questions in an attempt to downplay the intensity and pressure. This is a sign that the facade she's put up is starting to break, and the detective takes this as an opportunity to press her even further.
I think you need to start understanding the severity of the situation, right? Because I don't know if you really do. All right, and I think you need to start understanding that how this interview goes and what decisions you make here are going to affect your life for a long, long, long time. I think you think that you had this all planned out, and I think and again, not saying it in a bad way, but this is what we do. Okay, when we make mistakes, we figure things out and go, okay, all right, there's a lot more going on here, all right? And you know whose name is all over this right now? You and Joshua, okay? You need to start thinking real hard and real fast, okay? Who is involved in this and what happened? Okay.
That's all I know.
Okay. Things got out of hand. Okay. This got out of hand. I think what happened was Cindy was asking you for this money back and you didn't have it. And there's some issues there. Okay. Sometimes again, when we make a mistake, we do something wrong and the ball gets rolling and we can't stop it. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. Listen, you have your whole life ahead of you.
I know.
You have a 7-year-old son. You have an obligation to him.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever happened beyond this, we need to know. Because if you want to keep going with what you're telling us, okay, then we're going to have to go on that, all right? And you have to understand.
Yeah. Okay.
So somebody did something, we need to know now.
Talking about her son obviously strikes a chord with Amelia, and as interrogations are all about exploiting emotions to extract the truth, the detective jumps on this to make her as vulnerable as possible.
Did Josh put you up to this?
No.
Well, this is the stuff we need to know. Listen, if he put you up to it, he put you up to it. That's okay. Again, like Detective Marashi said, I think you're kind of at this crossroads right now, okay? You've got Josh, who you probably love, and he's your husband, okay? But you also have Julian. And you got to picture that little boy. You got to picture not being able to watch him grow up. Think about that for a second. Think about being put somewhere very far away from him, and the only way you're going to have contact with him is through letters. You're going to get pictures in jail, in prison, of your little boy growing up. That's your future.
I don't know the severity of what he did.
What did he do?
But he knows the relationship that I have with Mr. Stack. He knows that. I mean, I would take him food, like.
Listen to me.
So at a point, he would get upset with me that like I'm too nice, that I can't kind of act with my customers. But he's the old guy. He has no family. But I mean, I talked to him because he's my husband. I talked to him.
Did Josh say that you kind of were owed this money because you were taking care of this guy?
I don't know if he said that, but
Something like that? What did he tell you?
I don't want to get in trouble. I didn't do anything.
Okay. We need to know. Well, then tell us, okay? Tell us. They're both dead.
What?
Yeah, they're dead. So now we really need to talk.
At this point, all of the games that Amelia was playing have gone out the window. Whether she's innocent or not, she's now being accused of aiding a murderer and is faced with losing her job, house, and a 7-year-old son. So, understandably, she's starting to get incredibly scared.
I do not want to go to jail. I don't. Like, if I get fired, okay, let me get fired at work, but I don't want to go to jail. I didn't do anything. I didn't plan anything. I didn't conspire anything. I didn't do anything. I don't want to go to jail.
From here, the detectives try to capitalize on this, using her vulnerable state to try and extract as much information as possible from her. But Amelia asserts that she's only told the truth throughout the entire interrogation. She didn't know Cindy and Sean were dead, and she had nothing to do with their murders. But here is where the interrogation takes a massive turn. These detectives have now been talking to her for over 2 hours, and they've executed this style of interrogation almost perfectly. But for the last few hours, they've just been going around in circles to no avail. So instead, they leave the room to discuss a new approach. And that's when Detective Number 3 enters with blankets and a kind, apologetic tone.
Hey, you need to talk. You need to get out from underneath this big time. Did they tell you who they work for?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're homicide detectives, so.
No.
And they want you to be a witness, not a suspect.
That's why I want to talk to them, because I just don't want to be involved in any of this. Like,
okay.
I don't want any part of this. I want to be able to go home.
Okay.
Entering like this after such a stressful experience with the other detectives will set Amelia's mind at ease and subconsciously enforce the idea that he isn't a threat. At the start of the interrogation, Amelia was trying to seduce the detectives in an attempt to get better treatment and hopefully even a lighter sentence. So if the third detective plays into this by treating her kindly and playing her game, maybe he'll have a chance of finding out what really happened.
In these cases, you can't lie. You can't, which means holding something back, telling a partial truth, or just flat out lying. That is accessory. You're protecting someone, and I'm telling you right now, you don't need to do that. If you know what happened, tell him. Did he tell you what he did, and don't you have to say anything?
No, he just told me if you say anything, then, like because, I mean, I'm not stupid.
Okay, but eventually he told you what happened.
No, he didn't tell me that he killed anybody, or that he was going.
But you know that he was going over there.
I knew that he was going over there.
What day?
He told me, he's like, don't worry about what I'm doing. I'll take care of it.
Talking about them, though.
I'm guessing so, because that's just what he keeps saying.
Your importance is in details, not in vagueness.
They told me I'm going to jail regardless.
Well, the fraud part may be, but that's nothing. That is nothing compared to these charges for first-degree murder.
If I say all of these things, will I get in trouble?
If you don't say any of these things, you're definitely going to get in trouble.
But this is where I'm scared. If I say these things, like I didn't do any of this.
Put it this way: if you protect him and you don't tell us everything, then you're part of the crime.
Amelia is now met with a harsh dilemma. She has to either gamble that the detectives never connect her to the crime and face felony charges herself, or fess up and snitch to the police, likely sending her husband to jail for the rest of his life. This is her last chance to make the right decision, or she'll never see her son again.
Can we start over from the beginning then?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I let her know she wanted to know. She went with her dad to the bank and she looked at the transaction history and she wanted to know what the checks were. So I can't tell her much, and then he's over my shoulder listening to my conversations with her. And he's just like, I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. He just wasn't having it. He didn't want me to talk to her. He didn't want me to contact her.
And who are we talking about, her?
The guy's daughter.
You know her name?
Cindy. She's on the call her Cindy.
And he knew who Cindy was?
Only because of the conversations that me and her were having.
Okay, go ahead, I'm sorry.
The next day he went and he bought a gun. I don't know if it was Tuesday or Wednesday. He called out of work. He said that I'm gonna take care of things. The next day he comes home and he's like banging on the door. This is like
Where the apartment or the house where we were at today?
Yes.
Okay.
He came banging on the door. When he came home, he took the gun apart. He was shaking. He took all his clothes off. He put it in a garbage bag, and then he went by his mom and dad's house.
Okay. When did you become aware that he was involved in the murder?
Well, I didn't know what happened. I just stopped hearing from her. And then when I said something about, can I call her? He told me no. And then he got really mad at me, and he was like, if you say something, I'm gonna kill you.
Okay, he's not going to say that unless he told you about the murder. That's the part that's so when did he tell you about the murder? Sweetie, you got to let this go. You can't, anything you hold back is not going to look good. You've got to just tell it. It hurts, it's scary, I understand that, but not talking is worse for you than talking.
Did
he describe how, what?
He never physically said, like, what he did or if anything was done.
Did he say he shot him?
Well, I'm guessing he had his gun, so.
Don't guess. Did he tell you that he shot him?
Yes.
He said he shot him.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, the detectives managed to use Amelia's tactics against her and got her to confess to her own husband's crime. The detectives also stuck to their word and, after confirming she had nothing to do with the murders, dropped the charges against her. She was, however, still charged with the theft and sentenced to 3 years in prison. Josh, however, was found guilty of the first-degree murders of Cindy and Sean Stack and was sentenced to life behind bars. If you enjoy true crime videos like this, make sure you're subscribed to see